Hi everyone, welcome aboard Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this tank is no stranger to anyone who's been a fan of this channel for long. It's the Tier 10 French medium tank, the original Tier 10 French medium tank, the mighty Batchat. The little Batchat's got its 5-shell autoloader, and of course it does on average 390 hit points of damage per shot, 259 penetration with standard rounds, 330 with heat, which is premium rounds. It's been driven today by my old mate Retlas from 1AR clan. And Retlas, as he might have changed his name once or twice, but it's still the same bloke he absolutely loves, is Tier 10 French Batchat. And if you have a look closely on the barrel, when he sent me this replay, he's got one mark of excellence on the gun barrel as he puts a shot into the LTTB, the Tier 7 Russian light tank, on Paris, the sort of new map on Paris. It's been around for a little while now. And of course Retlas absolutely loves his Batchat, and so do I. So does everybody who's ever played one. It's one of the best tanks in the game, I reckon. Very fun to play, as he looks like he's trying to line up one of those tank destroyers, maybe the Object 268, and as he's looking around on Paris. His tank's lost a low tier light tank already, the Type 62, and I don't want to give too much away. This game does go for a little while. He's trying to get that 268 lit, but 268's behind that building. And just looking for a couple of cheeky shots. He's got 4 rounds left in his clip, and just looking for a shot on that Object 268. I haven't got one of those, but it can do a lot of damage. Of course, the TVP that was just in front of him got spotted, and of course this is a double shot of Tier 10 auto-loading action. After this battle, there's going to be a video on the Czech auto-loader, the TVP T5051. Pulls back to try and help the TVP, who looks like he might be having some shots on the M103. That looks like it's a... don't think that shot's going to penetrate or hit him, so he doesn't stuff around. He's looking for that T26E5, the Patriot, to try and poke. Shoots just a little bit too late, but that 252, there's that new Defender tank. Even though that Defender tank's pretty heavily armoured for a Tier 8, it's not going to have enough armour for the mighty Batchat. He's got 2 shells left in his clip. He's picked up 770 damage already, plus a little bit of assisted damage. And he's just hoping for a nice shot onto the side of the Patriot, which lands and penetrates, and one more to clear out the clip. Gets another 411 damage into the Tier 8 American Premium Heavy Tank, the T26E5. As he takes the reload, wait for his gun to reload. You can see on the mini-map there's medium presence in the north. Looking for some vision on these other tanks that are sort of sniping from the 3 line. Looks like there's an Object 268, the FE4202, SDA2 and that LTTB, and now the T34. So mainly Tier 8 tanks apart from the Object 268 in the north, as Retlas waits for that gun to reload. It looks like he's going to have another little poke, see if there's anything there worth shooting, using the bushes for a little bit of camouflage. And of course I'm tipping that he's got a pretty highly skilled crew in his Batchat. I was lucky enough to put my female crew in the Batchat, and I tell you what, it's an absolute ripper of a tank as he aims in on the British Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank. 1 tank from each side gets killed. The T11OE5 gets killed, and the T57 on the enemy side. That STA2 wasn't going to hang around up there too much longer. But look at the T34. Turn. There you go. 1 shell into the T34. Looks like he's tracked. He does get lit, but he puts another shot into the T34, and the Centurion 7-1 picks up the kill. And they're clawing this back. 2-3's the score. Now Retlas already picked up 2,406 hit points of damage, plus nearly 700 assisted. And now he's just looking for some more opportunities to get rid of those last 3 remaining shells into the enemy tanks. 3 all the score now, as the LTTB that Retlas shot not so long ago gets sent back to the garage. Looks like there's still 3 tanks left in the north. And of course Retlas' side have still got a good presence in the north, but they're going to be rightfully wary of that Object 268. Lucky enough to bounce the shot from the T30 and puts the 3rd and last shell out of his clip into. Lets his team know that he's reloading by hitting the F8 key, which is absolutely the right thing to do when you're in an auto loader, as that baby Batchat 25T AP gets taken out by that STA2 who was poking in the north. Still 3 enemy tanks in the north, the Object 268, the STA and the FV4202. 3-4 the score now, 3,111 hit points of damage by Retlas in his Batchat. And his team is still down by a tank. Retlas lucky enough to still to have full health, so he's still got his full amount of hit points left, even though he's already done over 3,000 hit points of damage, and he'll be looking for some more. He's got 10 standard shells left, which is APCR, and 10 of the premium heat rounds. As he tries to outvision that STA2, I reckon that FV4202 and the Object 268, they're just going to be hiding behind that building over there like they were earlier. The STA2, see if he's brave enough to have a little poke as Retlas turns around to see how the rest of his side are doing on the other side. Looks like the enemy have got a lot of tanks in the south now, but Retlas and the Centurion as well as the WZ just keeping an eye on the north just to try and outvision them and chip away at them. One artillery on each side in this game, the Tier 10 American artillery on the enemy side and that auto-loading Batchat artillery on Retlas's side. Not sure where they're aiming, of course, as the pattern gets taken out. In the south, still a lot of tanks in the south. Retlas looking to try and outvision that T-30, the Tier 9 American turreted tank destroyer. 4 all the score with that kill on the pattern, as now all those tanks in the north are now lit. But looking where that FV and the Object are, I reckon they're still pretty safe behind that building. So Retlas doing the right thing now and starting to move in towards the middle of the map just to see what's around the corner as he finds the new Swedish tank, the Tier 9 tank destroyer. Gets 1 shell into him. Second shell bounces. It is pretty well angled. Third shell bounces. He's got 2 shells left in his clip, but he's lit, so he backs off a bit just in case artillery is looking his way. Keeps the STRV 103 lit, picks up 700 hit points of spotting damage and takes a reload now, sticking with APCR for now. 3,500 damage done as the Scorpion G picks up the kill on the Tier 9 Swedish tank destroyer. And for the first time in this game, Retlas's side is up 5-4, and Retlas will be thinking, gee, if I only still had those 2 shells left, I would have been able to take out that Tier 8 heavy American premium tank, the real Michael Scott. Wonder if it really is the real Michael Scott. It might be it's the fake one. And now he knows his gun's just about loaded. He gets lit again, which is probably good. That probably tells him that that tank's still there. And there's just zooming in to aim. First shot misses entirely. Second shot doesn't pick up the kill. I think he might have, they've certainly got assisted damage in there, but artillery picked up the kill on that occasion. And there's that Object 268 again. He's already fired. The Retlas puts a shot into the side of the Tier 10 Russian tank destroyer. The Object 416, the little pancake tank, sticks his head around. Retlas takes a shot from that FV, but it's only 246 hit points. Picks up some more assisted damage. Of course, assisted damage more often than not gives you a hell of a lot of a really good score. 7-4 the score now. He hasn't picked up any kills yet, but he's done 4,326 damage, nearly 3,000 spotted and assisted damage. 7-5 now as the T-30 gets taken out by the T-57 in the southern part of the map, which we can't quite see, as Retlas waits for those heat rounds to load into his gun. And at this stage of the game, he's probably going to be thinking about the shells that he's got left. He's only got 12 shells left. Of course, the Batchat takes 5 shells in its auto loading magazine, and of course, so 2 lots of heat rounds, and then you'll have to take a full reload to use those last 2 APCR rounds as he pokes around trying to get some vision on the Object 416 as well as the Object 268, the Tier 8 and the Tier 10 Russians. He moves around here looking for some cheeky side shots in those southern tanks. His side starting to crumble a bit now, back to 7 apiece, and that 416 would be a nice easy kill. But he's keeping 108 to the south. Something lights him, probably that STA. Bounces that shot. It's already nearly 500 hit points of damage blocked in the Batchat as that T-54 Mod 1 again in the south gets taken out by the T-57 Heavy. Looks like that T-57 Heavy on the enemy side having a pretty good game, picking up 4 kills already. As Retlas looking for a shot into the Object 252U, the other name for the Defender tank. and shots into where those massive tanks are down the bottom. 416 takes a shot at Retlas. Can he get it? Can he get one into him? He's a one shot if he does. Looks like he's backing right up. Auto aims and misses. The second shot doesn't miss though. Picks up his first kill of the game and evens the scoreboard up again. And you'd imagine that Centurion 7-1 should have the STA-2 covered. You turn around, that Centurion 1 on nearly 600 health, but he's a tier 9 versus that STA on 950. Retlas going down to the south now, because you look at the south, look at all those tanks. They could easily overrun the T-54 Mod 1 and the Tiger 2, which are the last friendly tanks in the south. The Indian Panzer coming up to help. The Centurion 7-1 doesn't win the fight against the STA-2. The STA-2 keeps it lit for artillery as Retlas picks up a kill of the T-30. He's still got 2 shells left and he's going to need them. He's going to want to use them up before he takes a reload. It won't be enough to kill the Object 268, but he'll certainly be able to put some pain into him. Shoots and bounces that Object 252 before taking a massive hit from the Tier 10 Soviet tank destroyer, 706. Backs into a statue on the bridge as he's waiting for those 5 shells to come back in. He's going to need every single one of them. 11 all's a score. They've still got 2 Tier 10 tanks the enemy side. The Object 268 still on a decent amount of health going under the bridge. And of course that T-92, who if that T-92 shoots in the same postcode as Retlas in his Batchat, then it'll be back to the garage for him after a massive game. He's done 5,147 damage, he's blocked a bit, and he's also picked up nearly 3,000 assisted damage as he moves back into a spot that hopefully is safe from artillery. He's down to his last 5 shells of premium ammunition to heat rounds. The Object 252 would be the obvious target to get the scoreboard back into Retlas' side. Shoots the STA-2, puts another shell into him as the Tiger 2 gets taken out by the Object 268. Few low health tanks here, 3 kills, nearly 6,000 damage as he looks for the kill shot on that premium Russian heavy tank. The Object 252U, also known as the Destroyer, he's got 2 premium rounds left. There's 2 enemy tanks left. The Object 268 is going to take 2 shots, I reckon, to kill that Object 268. And of course the Object 268 looking Retlas' way. So Retlas, he's just been lit. He doesn't want to poke too aggressively. The T-54 Mod 1 hopefully moving to get into a flanking position. He can't afford to take a shot from that Russian tank destroyer. I am on the edge of a seat watching this. He's got 2 shells. He'll need them both. Hopefully he's going to turn to the T-54 Mod 1. That's right. There he misses that shot. Pulls forward. He's down to 400 health. Is it enough? It's not. 322 seems like a bit of a low roll. Lets his team know that he's reloading. He can't ram him. He really wants to be careful. He's only on 25 hit points here. He's coming down to distract the Russian tank destroyer, but that T-54 Mod 1 does the right thing. Picks up his first kill of the game, taking out the Tier 10 Russian tank destroyer as the T-92 gets himself lit up at A1, and Retlas reckons that if he goes full blast there, he'll be able to beat the T-54 Mod 1 to the kill on the T-92 American Tier 10 artillery piece and make a hero out of himself and absolutely rip it. 1.5 minutes left in the game, so I don't know, is that going to be loaded? I reckon the T-92 will be loaded by the time he gets there. Is he going to go for the cap? He's got 2 shells left. He's not going to go for the cap. T-54 may go for the cap. He gets lit. Gee, that must be a pretty good crew in that American artillery piece. He gets lit. He goes for a bit of a jump. He's looking, he's aiming. He 1 shell gets him. Looks like the artillery's fired. Take your time. And bang, with the last shell of the game, Retlas picks up his 5th kill and absolutely kills it in the Tier 10 Batchat. What a ripper of a game. It went for a while, but I tell you what, I was on the edge of my seat towards the end of that. As we look at the post-game battle results, it was a ripper from Retlas from 1AR clan, an ace tanker mastery badge, which is no surprise to me. The hand of God for surviving and winning the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy players. A spotting medal, which is not surprising at all. Bruiser, duelist, fighter, fire for effect. The Faden's medal for killing the last tank with the last shell. in the player's tank. It's the only downside to the Batchat. You are limited. You only got 30 shells, so you got to make sure they all count. And of course the high caliber for doing a massive amount of damage. Look at the second page of the post-game battle results. 1,396 base experience, 6,790 hit points of damage, 5 kills, and of course nearly 3,000 spotting damage. And that would have contributed greatly to the Ace Tanker Mastery badge. He lost a few credits with a standard account, but he fired 30 shots, 25 hit, 20 went through, and that was an absolute ripper on Paris in the Batchat. The original Tier 10 autoloader, the French Batchat 25T. As we move on to the second game of this double shot of Tier 10 auto-loading action, this one comes from Elite Commando, and it's not going to go for quite as long as that tense battle featuring Retlas in his Batchat, but this one features the TVP T5051, which is another very fun tank to play. Of course, the T5051, he's got a pretty fast firing autoloader. The time between shells is a lot quicker than the Batchat, and a few people I know reckon that the TVP is better than the Batchat. I wouldn't go as far to say that it's better, but the time between shots is certainly quicker. The reload time is certainly quicker, but it doesn't have the view range or the camouflage rating or the speed, I don't think. APCR are standard rounds, which does on average 320 hit points of damage, 248 penetration, 310 penetration, with the heat rounds, which is a premium ammunition. I think it's heat. Yes, it is. And of course it also carries a hell of a lot more ammunition than the Batchat. It carries not far off 50. I think it might be 48 rounds. As Elite Commando looks for some shots into the sides of those tanks that are pushing the hill on Sacred Valley. And of course Elite Commando from Crazy Clan, he's platooned up with his old mate the Cable Guy and IND Rayudu. IND Rayudu's been kind enough to send me some Claymore replays, which are always very, very entertaining. They don't stuff around in Crazy Clan when they're playing Clan Wars. It seems to be YOLO all the way. As Elite Commando finally gets his tank to reload, it doesn't actually take that long, but when there's lots of targets, it probably does feel like a lot longer. 2-1's the score. He's picked up nearly 1,500 hit points of damage and a bit of assisted, as he's looking for, look at that, nice shots into the Tier 9 waffle. The third shell doesn't quite hit, but he might be able to pick up a kill shot on the enemy TVP. No, the RU-251 does the job. He doesn't want to reload. He wants to fire his last shot, but that last shot doesn't quite hit the mark on the Tier 9 German tank destroyer. 4-1 is the score now as Elite Commando charges forward. You can see he's got lots of support on the eastern flank. An Object 140 has sort of gone rogue towards the south. I don't know what he's going to do. He's probably going to try and get up and take on this ISU 152 as IND Rayudu starts going back to take care of that Tier 10 Russian medium tank in his Batchat 25T. 7-2 the score now, and it's just now at this stage of the game, it's a case of who's going to get the most damage of the last remaining tanks. Some of those heavy tanks have copped a bit of a beating in the northwest though, so Elite Commando still firing APCR, which is standard ammunition, going to try and help clean up those heavy tanks and tank destroyers. You'll be nervous of that Jagdpanzer E100 though. It's got that massive gun that you just heard go boom, but it does have quite a decent reload as he shoots and tracks the Jagdpanzer E100, and as he takes his reload he keeps that Jagdpanzer E100 tracked, so he's got the time to get the hell out of Dodge before that big German tank destroyer gun can rip away at his paper armor compared to what the Jagdpanzer E100 can do. 8-6 is the score, 2735 damage, a little bit of assisted. He's not sure if he's still spotted. I reckon he definitely will be still spotted, looking at how close he is to that 113. 8-6 the score now. This is a kind of situation where you can clutch defeat from the jaws of victory if you try hard enough, as that Jag is heading straight around to where Elite Commando is. So Elite Commando's making sure he's out of his way. A bit of a traffic jam happening here in this corner, and there's the E100, but facing the wrong way. Doesn't want to do too much as he picks up his second kill on the German Tier 10 heavy tank. 9-7 the score now. Elite Commando knows he's going to have to stay alive here because a lot of his a lot of his friendly tanks are on very low health. He'll be waiting for that Czech gun to reload. The 113 shoots, so he reckons he might be able to beat him on the reload. The 113 not aiming his way though, so he's looking at those 1500 hit points on the Chinese tier 10 heavy tank, and he'd say, I'd love to get me some of that. As he waits for that 113 to try and poke around, he'll say, no, I'll chip away at that Jag again. Another shot into the side of the German tier 10 tank destroyed. Doesn't take any damage for that effort. Brings his damage count up to 4,500. But this is what I'm talking about. Teams crumbling. Quite a lot of tanks died then before the cable guy and IND Ryudu picked up a couple of tier 10 kills. And the 113 goes YOLO towards the Cax. He shoots him, and I think he rammed him as well. Elite Commando trying to hug the Chinese tier 10 heavy tank. Puts 2 shells into him. 3rd shell should be enough as his gun reloads. He's only got 4 standard rounds left. 3 kills, 12 tens to score, 5,500 damage. He's got a dead gunner. I'm pretty sure he'll fix him pretty soon. That Jag looks like he's just fired. Oh, Elite Commando confident now that Jag's not going to look his way. He's going to be lit, but it's not going to matter because that Jag is caught right out of position as Elite Commando picks his 4th kill up, and now his 5th kill as his gun reloads. He's only got premium ammunition left now, but with a score on 14-10 and a top gun on the line, who cares? He's done 6,638 damage, a little bit of assisted, and looking at the health on that Emil, 948. He's probably thinking, by the time my gun loads, I'll be able to pick myself up another kill and a top gun. He rams him, picks himself up the top gun, and wins the battle 15-10 in the tier 10 Czech auto-loading tank, the TVP T5051. An ace tanker mastery badge for Elite Commando from Crazy Clan. Bruiser duelist, fire for effect, high caliber unsurprisingly, and of course the top gun. Plenty of tanks there damaged and killed. 6 kills, 6,668 hit points of damage, 1273 base experience, a little bit of detecting damage, and he fired 32 shots, 28 hit and 23 did damage. Plenty of profit too in a premium account, firing standard ammunition all the way, nearly 60,000 credits. Bottom line, after tax, and he's had a few personal missions happening there for his experience, but not a bad battle at all. So there you go, double shot of tier 10 auto loading action. The Batchat 25T featuring my old mate Retlas from 1AR Clan and Elite Commando. It is TVP 5051, the Czech auto-loading tank. I'm not sure which one you prefer. I've got them both. I reckon they're both pretty awesome tanks, and I'm lucky enough to have girl crews in both of mine, so they makes them even more fun. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.